Dear students, let us start a discussion about today's newspaper, that is 13th August 2016. The first article is related to Mental Health Care Delivery Bill 2016. Now in this context, let us try to understand the stigma associated with the mental health care delivery in this country. One is the budget allocations. They are less than 1% of the total health care allocations. The healthcare allocations in the country are themselves very low. Among that, the mental health care is the most neglected area. And secondly, there is a lot of social stigma associated with the mental health care. And if a mentally ill person exists in the family, it is a financial, physical and emotional burden to the entire family. So, alternative medical facilities shall be available which are more suitable for them to get treated and also to provide for the rehabilitation. So in India, none of these things are available. So infrastructure wise, there is a huge shortage and there are many practices which outcast these mentally ill patients or psychiatric patients in the country. Now in this scenario, the mental health care bill, the major aim is to improve the access of healthcare delivery to the ill patients. So in this case, the rights of the persons with mental illness are being defined. Every person has a right to access to the mental health care and treatment, and this has to be funded by the government. The rights include access to affordable and quality mental health care. When it is not been qualitative, the patient may complain it to a board specified for this particular matter. And added to that, a mentally ill person can give the advanced directives. And these advanced directives, if it has to be changed at a later date, it has to be through a registered medical practitioner alone. So advanced directive means how he has to be treated if a patient, for example, during my 30s or 40s, I can write in advanced directive how I have to be treated tomorrow if I get Alzheimer's. And there will be two authorities appointed. These are called central and state mental health authorities. They will certify the mental health institutions and also they oversee the quality and services delivered by these establishments. And to review the standards from time to time with regard to mental health care delivery, the Mental Health Review Commission and Board is constituted. Finally, the most important aspect of this bill is decriminalization of suicide. Is suicide a legal question or a medical question? There was a lot of debate. Finally, this bill provides to a solution that the suicide is out of the stress and it is not a criminal action. And finally, the electroconvulsive therapy. So the bill also prohibits the use of ECT as a medical treatment. So these are the aspects. Coming to crisis over Crimea. Now let us see, there is Ukraine. And in this Ukraine, there is a small part called Crimea. And this Crimea is demographically dominant by the Russian-speaking population. So, Crimean people have voted in a plebiscite in favor of staying with Russia, and Russia finally annexed Crimea. So Ukraine wants to take a tit for tat for this. So in this case, recently, a terrorist attack or a plan for a terrorist attack is reported in Crimea, and Russian President Putin accused the Ukraine of plotting for this terrorist attack. So in this context, already when Russia has annexed the Crimea, the European Union and United States have imposed the economic restrictions on Russia. So the Crimea is becoming a point of standoff between the West and Russia. So in this context, if you see the global framework or scenario now, in this scenario, Russian help is necessary for the West, especially for the fight against Islamic State. So the West and Russia has to reach to some middle path on this issue. And coming to Collegium. So you know that the judges need to be appointed by the President of India in consultation with the Chief Justice. Now it is called a Collegium of Judges. So the President of India is just a rubber stamp over here, and the President of India just has to confirm the names given by the Supreme Court. So, most of the recommendations given by the Supreme Court, these are delayed at the governmental level, and because of these vacancies, the judicial work is getting delayed and leading to the accumulation of cases. As per the Supreme Court statistics, total 44.3% of the positions of the judges in the high courts are vacant. That shows a dismal state of justice delivery in the country. Now coming to CAG, the CAG, it has given its report on Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. So the objective of this program is to create the all-weather road for all habitations where the population is greater than 500, and in the case of hilly and difficult terrain, if the population is greater than 250. So the CAG report says there is a diversion of funds and also the project delays and misuse of the funds in this particular program. And coming to cricket, this argument, so to what extent the Supreme Court has overstepped its role in regulating the BCCI? Because the BCCI is a private society which is registered in Tamil Nadu Societies Registration Act of 1975. So it means in the functioning of a private organization, can Supreme Court keep its time and mind to regulate that? So in this case, we have to see the BCCI as a body regulating the cricket, where the cricket is seen as a game for the entire country. Or it means there is a public concern about this game. And added to that, a game, it frees oneself from his mind. Our game provides for a kind of a spirit, a positive spirit in the human mind. It means it's kind necessary for self-development, self-expression, self-respect. Or morally it is important because it is the art of the people. So the sport has to be fair. Justice has to prevail in the sport. So in this context, the various fixing scams, etc. has diminished the image of the BCCI. In this context, the Supreme Court has intervened. So from that perspective, you can see is the Supreme Court has acted in public interest. So these are the articles for today. Thank you very much.